Mr. Minnick showing my students how to use the Visual C++ software for CompSci 101. Some way or another on your home computer or a campus computer, figure out how to open up the Visual C++ software. It might be named Visual Studio. It could have the version something or other called Express or Ultimate or Professional, but one way or the other it'll look something like this, and it will certainly say Microsoft Visual Studio somewhere. And it takes forever to load, so we'll wait here for it to finish loading. The game plan is to first create a project, and then within that project make a file. So we go to File, New, Project, and click. I don't like to use this because sometimes your start page goes away and you never get it back again unless you know how to find it somewhere and bring it back to life. And let's pretend we don't know how to do that. So rely on this, File, New, Project. And you have a lot of different kinds of projects that you can open, and this is just some error message that I just clicked. No, I don't think that affects us here on campus. And our choices are Visual C++ or other languages. Make sure this is clicked. And we have to, for this course, we have to do empty project. Not the more like graphical, fun, menu, button, live kind of thing that would be generated from one of these. Now we got to do empty project. And then down below here, we have to choose a name for our project. And the name I recommend is whatever the assignment is that you're working on. Assignment 1 or Assignment 2 or Assignment 3, something like that. Or something just for fun that you're doing on your own, you can name it anything you want. But don't put spaces in the name, and I don't even put uppercase letters. And don't put weird symbols like a dollar sign. That's probably not allowed. So keep it simple. A1. Click Browse and put it somewhere where you'll know where to find all this mess. Do not try to be fancy and put it right on your X drive here at Penn State. For technical reasons I don't want to get into, it won't work. And probably some of these other places it won't work. So I just recommend all my students to put it in the desktop. And click whatever you need to then. And it should say something like this. And then just click the OK button. It's down here. You can't see it in this video. Sorry about that here. So click the OK button and you can continue. So highlighted, highlighted, highlighted. Click OK. And you have to say yes to this, whatever it is. And this is annoying, but I just say no. And here we go. What it's doing behind the scenes is it's creating a bunch of folders with some stuff in it. It's kind of like in Detroit, they're building you a car, and you'll just now be able to sit in the driver's seat and drive it. There's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes now that you don't obviously see. See, you don't even see evidence of it, but it's there behind the scenes. Now what you do is you go to Project, Add New Item, click, and make sure that Visual C++ is highlighted and not some other option. And right here, this is what we always need in this course, C++ file, .cpp, and provide a name. I don't like source. I mean, it's okay, but I prefer A1. Since that's the name of the project that I'm doing, it makes sense to me. You don't really need .cpp there because I think it'll put the .cpp there to be safe. We'll see if that happens here. I'll check later. And I click the Add button that you don't see here over to the right. And now we're ready for the next step. Now every once in a while somebody loses this window, even before they type something. This X gets clicked somehow, I don't know. Well, relax. You just double click a1.cpp over here under source files. If that's not dropped down, you just click it and it's there. Hey, if that's not dropped down, you click it, you click whatever you have to, and you double click it. So there it is, and I can type. Oh man, sometimes people lose their whole Solution Explorer and they don't see it. Don't worry, everything's okay, because you are in the A1 project right now, I see. But you need to bring up what's called Solution Explorer. Click View, click Solution Explorer, and double click, of course, a1.cpp to bring your file back. Now you just type your code, which I'm going to fast forward. Okay, voila. I typed all this code. It pretty prints with the different colors there. Of course, I want your real name there and everything like that. the name of the file, A1, assignment 2, or fun stuff, whatever you're doing, put the name of the file there in that line, and which day of the week you have me for class. That's always nice here. Okay, next step in using this software is to compile your code. Click Build, Compile. I think the free downloadable Express version does not have this. It probably automatically compiles things as you type it. So if you misspell something, in general, it usually squiggly underlines it even if you didn't compile it. So anytime you have something like that, stare at my notes, look at demo programs, pray, whatever it takes, try to figure out how to get that bug out of your program. Because a bug is really just a mistake like that. Okay, so I fixed it, and it goes away after a while. Sometimes you have to click somewhere for it to refresh. There is no like view refresh, I don't think. Okay, anyway, if you have a compile command, click it. It's always extra to be safe measure. If you do compile and don't have any errors, it says 0 failed usually here. If you have an error, like that, and you try to compile it, in this good version of Visual C++ that I'm using, it tells you what your errors are. I think in the free version, well, it also tells you what your errors are, but it doesn't let you double click the error. Like watch, you always double click the top error. Never worry about the second or third potential error because they're probably not even errors. It all hinges on what you did wrong in the first case. So it sometimes tells you what you did wrong, but here it's lying. It says that I'm missing a semicolon before the word STD. Wrong. If you do that, now you made your situation worse. Sorry, that's just the way it is. No, you threw it off so badly by misspelling namespace that it doesn't even know what your error is. So I fixed it just because I paid attention in class, and now I'm good to go. The errors don't refresh and go away. You have to recompile it. And by the way, anytime you compile it, it might be saving automatically. So I think it's saving. But if you're in doubt, just click the little save button anywhere you find it, and then you're safe. Hey, at this point, if you have to wrap it up for the day, just click File, Print, and take the printout home, and at least you won't lose it, because you could always retype your code. If it's a big program with like 100 lines of code and variables and stuff like that. But it's saved automatically when we execute the program. And to execute the program, you go to Debug and click I prefer Start Without Debugging. Some people, they just click this little green arrow, which probably works too, but I click this. It makes an exe file behind the scenes, and then it double clicks it so that you don't have to, and it runs the program. If we don't execute the program by doing that, we don't have an exe file, and you would not have something to upload to Angel when you hand in the program. So you do have to run your program at least once in any given session when you're sitting down working on your program. I'm just saying. You do have a CPP file behind the scenes, which is the other thing that I always collect through the Angel Dropbox. And now we're good to go. So let's pretend we're done with this assignment. As of now in 2015, I do like people printing it out, although eventually I probably will save the paper. So you print and just make sure you're connected to some printer. But do not ever click selection by accident. In other words, don't highlight something and then go to File, Print. Because look what you get. By default, it only prints what you have highlighted. And it doesn't, that doesn't count for points. So make sure that nothing's highlighted, just single click somewhere, and then File, Print. That's that. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm going to end this video. That's how you sit down in one shot and create a program. Often it's not this easy. You have to start a program up the next day from where you left off, but that's in another video. In this video, I will emphasize that if you exit Visual Studio, you should use the File Exit menu command. It probably works if you click this X, but this is the nice way to do it. It will automatically make sure you save everything. And when you do close something, it's closed. It's safe and sound somewhere on your desktop, but you can't start a new project. And even though it's in another video showing you how to upload things to Angel, right here happens to be what I just created in the last 8 minutes. This folder is called the project folder. If I double click and go to the, I always like to go to details here, it tells me more. And in that subfolder A1, there's another subfolder A1. and a lot of other engine-like stuff in your car that you don't need to mess with. But in there is your source file that we named a1.cpp, even though the .cpp doesn't show up here. And if you go back up one level, in this debug folder, not to be confused with the other one that we saw, that is where your application is. That's the exe file that you also have to upload to Angel. And that we could double click. Check this out. If you double click it, even though Visual Studio is closed, and run, your program runs. It's proof that you really did something and you added a program to the world of computer software.